Hello, business finance students. I want to talk about Dow Jones Industrial Average. Many of you have heard this name, and we want to know what it is, and we are going to spend a lot of time analyzing the companies and learning about them and trying to see how they are doing regarding their finances, because as you know, this course is business finance. And the more we know about these companies and how they are managing their finances, the better it is, and we learn much more about them, and we learn much more about the course. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, if you look at here, there are 30 companies that are known as components of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And you know many of these. Suppose you know what Amazon is. There are 30, you see here 30 companies. These are some of the most important companies in the US. And what they are is that they represent different categories of companies. For example, if I ask I am sure you all know what Amazon is. If I ask you what Amazon is, your answer is, oh, Amazon is a, online, company. It is competing with several other companies, and, you have a lot to say about it, and therefore you know what that is. If I ask what American Express is, that's the second, they call it Dow component. These 30 companies are known as Dow Jones Industrial Average components. You know that American Express is something like, Visa, MasterCard, you know what they are, American Express. Do you see? And you know that the business of American Express is way different than the business of Amazon, because they are two different, categories of businesses. This company here, it's a pharmaceutical company. And this one, you know what Apple is. If I tell you what Apple is, oh, Apple, cell phones, I don't know, computers. That's another company in another field. You know what Boeing is. Boeing, is, you know it as, airlines, aeroplanes, not airlines, aeroplanes, and, defense company. And you go Caterpillar, it builds, major machinery. Cisco is a technology company. You all know Chevron, that's a gas station. Goldman Sachs, that's a financial company, just like banks, And then many of you know what Home Depot is. Do you see how these companies are different from one another? Therefore, these are 30 different companies, and this is also a company like, it builds, different, just like General Electric company, the electric, this is similar. This is International Business Machine, IBM, Johnson & Johnson, that's more like a, drug company. You all know what Coca-Cola is. Do you see how different these companies are from one another? You all know what McDonald's is. These are the representatives of other companies. You may think about, okay, McDonald's most likely is more like a representative of fast food restaurants. Maybe, Kentucky Fried Chicken is not here. That represents, and then you come here, 3M company, 3M in Minnesota, mining, and, that's another. You all know Microsoft, Merck and Nike, you know what Nike is, and Procter and Gamble, they are making soaps, Therefore, these 30 companies, and most of you are definitely, what Walmart is, and Visa. These are 30 companies. And guess what? We have 24 students. How about if I assign each one of the students one of these companies to do some research about them? I assigned myself Amazon, which I did a lot of research about its finances. In fact, guess what? I asked ChatGPT to do that research for me. And I will show you what we are going to do. Therefore, I am going to assign American Express to another student. We have 24 students. Fortunately, we have 30 companies here. Therefore, we can give the one company to each student. One student is going to own, think about Amgen. And what are the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and why do we, Dow components, why do we have them? Why is it such an important issue in a stock market? The reason to it is that imagine that suppose these are the stocks of Dow Jones, stocks of Amazon. And at the moment, if you want to buy one stock of Amazon, you have to pay $239 to buy one stock of Amazon. And today it has gone up by $3.70. That means in the morning when they opened the stock market, this was around $235. Now has gone up by $4. It has gone, it is now around 240, which means it went up by 1.61 percentage, and then it went all the way low to 233 today, but it came back up. Therefore, that is what Amazon has done today. But American Express, guess what? The stocks of American Express are being traded at 319 today. If you would have lost 45 cents. Your stocks went down. And therefore, these are why this is, as you see, some of the stocks gained, the ones that are green gained, the ones that are red lost today. And therefore, that's the way we look at these to see what's happening, because this thing tells us what happens in the, stock market. For example, if Apple, for example, gained some, $9 and it went up by 4%, maybe Apple is similar to NVIDIA. Maybe NVIDIA went up by 4%. Do you see it went up by 7%? Do you see that? Salesforce went up. The similar companies usually go up similarly. Look at Microsoft again, because they are technology companies and they are similar. They go up together. Therefore, this Dow Jones Industrial Average is a representative. Suppose, as I said, McDonald's, imagine that is representing fast food companies. Therefore, if McDonald's goes down, the stocks of McDonald's, maybe stocks of similar companies like Chipotle or maybe other food company goes down. And if the stocks of, suppose, Walmart, do you see it went up a little bit? It was at $97. Today it lost around 20 cents, which is not significant. Because it lost around 20 cents, maybe your assumption is that maybe Target also went a little down. Usually these, stocks go together, they move up and down, the similar companies move up and down. And when we do the average, we add them all. Which mean in some days all of them might go up, in some days all of them might go down. But today, as you see, a kind of mixed. And this is, by looking at it, you can have some guesses that what is happening in the stock market. And this is one of the indices that tells us, what happened overall in the stock market, if you want to know. Therefore, this is something I want you to know as my first audio, video regarding becoming familiar with the Dow Jones Industrial Average and these companies. And guess what? Here I put them in Excel. These are the Dow Jones company, Amazon, American Express, and I assigned this to myself. And I am going to do the research about it and then show you how I did the research. That way you can do a research similar to myself, post it on the discussion board. And today, that means I will post it, which is Tuesday. And you have until Sunday of next week to post yours. And you have to respond to the posting of at least 2 students. And I will show you how to post, what I expect you to do. And it is very easy and it is a very good project. And because those Dow Jones Industrial Average was, was in CNBC, if you click here, you will, can always see how the stocks of the company went up, down, or what happened. Therefore, this is my first video. I'm going to put three videos for you. That way, you know what to do and your discussion. And we use these companies that we select for you until the end of the semester. That means this Amazon is going to stay with me until the end of the semester because I am going to do different researches, and I will ask you to, get involved in, researching these companies.